Hi, good evening, and thanks to each of you in the viewing grid for joining us for this showcase of the Poetry Partnership of Pittsburgh. PPP, as we lovingly and conveniently abbreviate it, offers community-based poetry writing workshops that support, celebrate, and honor the knowledge, skills, pedagogies, and creative practices of Black and Brown poets. My name is Justin Philip Reed, and I am an honored co-facilitator of the Poetry Partnership. I'm honored because through this collaboration, through these poets and the writing, lessons, curiosity, and trust that they offer and exchange, I've been allowed to learn with and from them, to think differently and creatively about how poetry can matter and what community can mean, especially in the face of the unprecedented challenges of this year. Having moved here just last July, this partnership comprises most of the artists I know in Pittsburgh, and it represents the dedication of people who are consistently more organized and punctual than I am. To that end, let me please extend gratitude first to the co-organizers, Lauren Russell, Becca-Zayla Maguni, and Tracy Murphy Green. I vividly remember sitting in direct sunlight, the way I kind of am right now, as we four met outside Zeke's Coffee and tried to imagine what this partnership would be. It's been a truly invaluable experience to have accompanied these folks in reckoning with the problems and the possibilities that we could not have planned for, while still maintaining a 12-week poetry workshop that provided catharsis, continuity, and community amid uncertainty. Thanks as well to Black Unicorn Library and Archive Project, of which Becca Zayla is here, the Center for African American Poetry and Poetics at the University of Pittsburgh, of which Lauren is Assistant Director, the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, and the Hill District for providing accessible space, and City of Asylum for organizing this virtual event and offering this celebratory postmark. Special thanks to our guest facilitators, most of whom we have the pleasure to hear from tonight: Dani Janae, Corinne Jasmine, Joy KMT, and Christina Springer. And last and probably most of all, thank you to our workshop participants: Joss Green, Diarra Imani, Medina Jackson, Maria Kent, Crystal Massey, Jaquan Watson, Sydney Turner, Heather Manning, Patrice Alakiva, Anthony Wiles, Leah Pugh, and Mia Sterbini. Tonight, you'll hear from 10 poets who will introduce each other. And in closing, you will hear from our co-organizers, Lauren Russell and Becca-Zayla Maguni. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are here. First up, we'll have Joss Green. It's been a real pleasure to work with Joss. They have been a consistent, rigorous attendee to the poetry of their community workshop co-participants. They have been really a comfort to me, especially in what I feel is a kind of quiet sense of humor. And I was consistently excited to read their work, to think alongside them, and really to now have known them for half a year almost. And I look forward to now listen to them, and thank you all.
Hey y'all, I'm Joss Green. I use they, them pronouns. And I want to start off with reading a poem called Time. The whirring of a drill press as it skids off steel, staring at a blinking computer cursor, cutting through a dowel with a miter saw, the door which never closes, the shutter of the window unit as it tries to cool the room, waiting, 8 months of cowardice, how she won't look you in the eye at the poetry slam, the love quotes on your wall peeling, the letters you wrote to move on, stuffed into your top desk drawer, the silence of your phone after you block her, the scent of her hair, which you smell on occasion when on the street, You are known to stop and pivot, guessing she must have just passed you. She never has. And next, I want to read a poem called "The White Lady at the Women's March Reprimands Me for my Abolish the Police sign by asking me if there are no police, who will protect us. Maybe some beautiful god who hasn't been invented yet, one with skin the color of soil and freeform locks. Maybe the light of the new moon which casts a ghostly shadow over everything it touches, summoning up some hex or another. Or maybe I'm not being protected by the police anyhow, so I know intimately the ins and outs of protecting myself. Thanks for listening. Next up, we have Dani Janae, who was one of our guests, guest artists at the workshop. I was really excited to learn from her while we did the workshop, and I'm excited to hear her poems tonight.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dani Janae. Thank you, Joss, for the introduction. Tonight I have 2 poems to read. The first one is called "Is the Speaker in Your Poem Angry?" Is the speaker in your poem pebble brown, skin like a record of sand? Is the speaker in your poem gonna holler the moon down, disrupt the sea, letting its hot light make wounds in her palms? Is the speaker in your poem gonna break her fingers from striking all of that street? Is her sorrow a rib? Will it be made something? Is she just as capable of fire and ruin? Is the speaker in your poem a bird with its beak clipped? Is she learning a song through the pain, her tongue knife pink? Can she read the room and know it is not the sky? Is the speaker in your poem a giant of biblical proportions? Does she tout her villainy or shame it? Does she know the stories they tell about her, the things they will make her carry? Is the speaker in your poem going to answer the question of what it means to be Black in this moment? Is she all spine and sacrum? Is there a pit where her belly lies? Is it wild with remembering? Is the speaker in your poem angry? What does she do with it? Make a metaphor about heat. Call for the destruction of the breathing. Use her voice to lick the terrors from wherever it is they root. Is the speaker in your poem tooth cut, gnashed and gnawed from flesh and fauna? Is she still bloodied? Is the blood womb dark? Is here where she will leave her body, bullet or noose? The second poem and the last poem is titled "On Paradise." It's from a manuscript I'm working on of poems about addiction. In all of the days that paradise was built, it fell within an hour at the grace of a fruit. Any alcoholic worth their weight can tell you something of heaven. I, wine drunk, would walk through my neighborhood, stopping to piss in the cover of bushes, convincing myself this would help them grow. I had quit my job on a whim, skipped rent, and spent golden hours watching my oregano flower. Bees are drunks too. They're fuzzy, lolling. Together we would sip our nectars, turning spirits into gone afternoons. It was heaven to wake up to the rest of a warm beer, wash down the funk of my mouth with its briny heat. The pantry dry and wrecked with moths. The rest of my money gone to a good day as sun wrestled color into my wintered skin. For as long as I have remembered, we have blamed Eve, when the promise of an apple was greater than anything God had built. I have had only one beloved. There was a God in my goblet, a worship in every sip, my throat lined with cool wine. My song was this, simple and bare, my hands forever cupping a glass. What we don't say of heaven is to live there is to have lost everything. In my small room, I stained my teeth honey dark, counting the lines in my nails like pieces of silver. That's all I have. Thank you. Next up, we have Medina Jackson.
Hey everyone, good evening. My name is Medina Jackson, and I also go by I'm Medina, and I'm going to read 2 poems for you. In terms of contacting me, the best place to find me is on Facebook under Medina Jackson, and you'll also see me back on this channel with more poetry and performance as part of the Black Transformative Arts Network's Nights for the Show Must Go Online later this month, so be on the lookout for that. So the first poem I'm going to read is called The Last Good Girl. I am not your good girl. Today, I am the mirror. See yourself. I live in that place. I have eaten this galaxy and made the universe my home. I am not just good. Good is too sensible, not the makings of orgasmic eulogies. Where did all the good girls go? Didn't you know? They were placeholders. I am a rocket burning through space, fueled by stargazing. Tell me what the fuck is tame, nondescript, formless ass good. Maybe good girls hide better than you. In boxes reeking of footstools, repression receptacle, containment device, might as well be a vice. Good girls are from a place where supernovas are born. Good cannot embody all those explosions, a character trait devoured by my DNA. Good is a safe choice, sacrifice of sublime, surreal adventure, decoy, doppelganger, one side of a prison. Cries for help, often stifled by our own silence. Then we drown. I am good and full of ands, positive and negative, light and dark, the root and the bark, heavy and weightless, responsible and careless, accountable and reckless, ether repression. Your expression is a trance of whirling dervishes. Good girls are used to closed doors, used to closing doors. Don't give me good. That word is not full. It's somewhere between fuck up and a standard of surrender. Good is the acceptance of the condemnation of always doing what's right, sentenced to a purgatory of compromise. Charming at best. We good girls have earned the right to complexity for our beginning, middle, and end. Bury the good girl. Suffocate her in dirt. They die slow deaths anyway. And then the next and last poem that I'll read is called They Always Come, a note to my son. I'm a mother of a Black son. And so this one really goes out for the caregivers of Black children in this time, of Black people in this time, and specifically for George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, and those suffering in COVID-19 and the past, present, and future. Son, how do I prepare you for apocalypse? How do I prepare you for the inconspicuous, loud, cyclical doom of white supremacy's tentacles? How do I prepare my nervous system for what seems like the inevitable, inescapable trauma of, will I lose him someday, somewhere, somehow? See, they always come. The wonderless to the wanderers, to the free people, to those who are spacious, to those who hold themselves, to those shaped by expansive sky and ocean and dirt. It always comes in a liberated moment, parasitic travelers leaving bones and dust in the wake of dawn and move on. I just want to keep you safe in a place that is trying to kill you a little bit every day, or by bullets exploding from guns, or by the relief of a needle from these troubles. It always comes to steal the light from your eyes, but see, it suffocates them. They can't hold it. I just want to shield you with my open heart, the sinking of your muscles, relaxed breath in my arms forever. It always comes, ushering the terrifying unknown, baiting us with bribes, trades, and fear of something worse, ready to reclaim an earth they do not own. They always come to dry up all the water, set fire to the soil, pollute the air with poisoned breath. They come in the night. They come in the day. They always come. Can I hold you one more time? One more kiss on your forehead, soothing hands through lion locks. Can I keep you in my sight? Can you stay with me while you spread your wings and sing your sweet shower songs? They always fucking come, driving sticks into sacred ground, walking woundedness and death, teeth stained with someone else's blood, when we are simply living. They do not know what true life, love, and liberation is, so they consume it with impunity and are never full. Thank you, everyone. Next up is a healer, poet, mama, sister, and longtime friend of mine. Please welcome the words and presence of Maria Kent.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis. I work for City of Asylum. We have some slight... first, I want to thank everybody so much for putting this reading together this evening. I am behind the scenes on the tech end, but it's the organizers from all these organizations that have curated this wonderful set of readers for us. Maria will be on shortly. We have a few technical things to work out, and we're going to be right back. So sit tight.
Oh.
Sorry to throw you on unexpectedly. We're bringing back Joy, who had a little technical difficulties earlier, so you can properly hear all of her poems. Joy, take it away.
Okay, I hope you all can hear me this time.
Yes, all good. Sounds great.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to start off with an extension of the master's domain. We are dealing with a kind of violence that is incomprehensible, and we get mad at one another for wanting to try and speak it. And that's from a lecture by Frank Wilderson. Jangle the keys of my spine, bluish words. We echo each other into caverns where time and memory collapse. Put your mask on. Put my mask on. Lick the desert of my face. When the hells soon come, we are already hungry and waiting to smoke the fear wrapped in the tender brown leaves of our bodies. Don't leave me. The words come out more like, fuck you, bitch. I don't owe you shit. We drown in amber, frozen together and untouching. Touch me, make me a woman in your image. God. Meet Eden, meet Eve, meet Lilith, meet destiny. Manifest welts with the lash of your tongue. Now we are English or American or island and Brazil and black or niggers or rivers and seas and chapels and dreams and longing or nigga, fuck you say to me? Amen. Stretch out your arms like no human has always done and prepare to meet a God that might actually be able to hold you. Hold us. Old time religion. Let me set a scene. Let me set a planet. Well, not a planet, a simulacrum. Simulacrum. Something fake, some fake shit. Begs blood. Pretty Negro blood to dance on glass for crumbs. in prison, in slick, raining matrix like binary bombs on brains, silent by the gourd, waiting for the mouth of the ark, the gestating one in the void to open in the dark of a new moon. Nettles brush my ankles, greet me with burning kisses. I have walked tides and crescents for a long time. I want to go yonder, past news timeline, touch my lips to a wild that can give me a name. Dalits in my bread, Jesus like an immortality feeding drones, name self-care, signed by the good Lord resting on Black Death. Oh, velvet gospel. Oh, gospel of sequin skies. Oh, good word of phoenix nanas. Oh, moment of breaking grace dance. Oh, ruptures of deified wounds and enshrined lamentations. Oh, daughters of wanton dishonor, squatting bare ass in vulva and weeping rivers, drowning baby fathers and rolling sirens. Oh, loud ass peals of laughter, shifting plates off planetary shelves, one by one. God of, it's a void, light years away, open mouth of promise. My ancestors lifted their palms to praise in a mosquito-filled night, shuffling counterclockwise to burn away the limitations of the day. We all suffered and suffer drapetomania. Really, we just tired and want to go home. Want our mamas to have the right to keep us safe in the sunshine. Counter-delusional liberation is insanity because who consciously decides to walk on the edges of their own graves? We respond light years away when our ancestors shuffled clockwise cried, freedom, 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 freedom. This one's called Maroons. A black revolution makes everybody freer than they actually want to be. Sadia Hartman. Holy apparitions in untamed cypress groves, dismal swamp calls us to taste the lovely, dark, chainless nights, blooming from hunted rage. We kissed every sunrise in our own language, unhated silence, relearning the rapture of breathing. Brackish prayers and pyromanic ghosts terrify the dreams of the yoke, twisting a world away like the barrel of a shotgun at their chest by force if we must. Baying dogs are slaughtered, laid like petals at the feet of the children, giggling. They turn towards the wind and run, irreverent gods. Entreaties. She couldn't make him look just like any other man to her. He looked like the love thoughts of women. He could be a bee to a blossom, a pear tree blossom in the spring. He seemed to be crushing scent out of the world with his footsteps, crushing aromatic herbs with every step he took. Spices hung about him. He was a glance from God. Their eyes were watching God. Hold me, hold me, hold me. Hold me like you love your life. Less like collateral damage, less like the mirror you hate, more like a rainbow if you could, more like the first day of summer, more like a river, less like a savior, less like an enemy, less like the nightmare, more like laughter. More beloved scar than open wound, more like sunlight, more like proverbial calling, less like a sack of sorrows, less like a grieving, less like a wake, more like a living woman. Just like that, yeah, and just like that. Okay, it's my last one. It's called Before the Ships Come, Hymn of Immaculate Blackness. I taste a sunrise on your lips. You, like the god of deep water, moving under the stars, our children will call home when we have become the ruins of this earth, Listen, they come for us in the morning. Listen, we do not own tomorrow, but I will live for you tonight. I will live for generations. This has always been a love story. My black skin, your black skin, this heart of mine beating furiously against the dawn that is a knife. Taste me. I am the first water, and I will live forever. You are light that never stops traveling. We are the sound that God made when they woke in the first night. We are the first dream. We are the dust. We are the crossroads that mark home. We are the sojourners and the sojourn. We are the songs. The earth is a marketplace. We will be sold. We will be something else altogether. But no one can forget forever. Listen, tomorrow is an eclipse. Listen, tomorrow is a long drought. Listen, death comes knocking. I will be a ghost and you will be a machine, but I will be born again as the weeds and you as the wind. And I will be born as a fish and you as the ocean. And I will be born as the rain and you as the earth. And when we are ready, we will be born as constellations celebrating the first dream for all of our children to see. And the record will show that this is a love story. This has always been a love story. And that's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. So I am going to share a group of poems that are constantly a work in progress. They are called Swords, Words, and Tongues, and All the Sharp Things. 1. I pay tribute to all of myselves here, the ones who are present and the ones who are absent. Which is worse, to hold back thy sword, thy word, or to cut away carelessly? Thy tongue is thy weapon, I shall not talk. Wait. Thy tongue is thy weapon, I shall not want. You see, you can't fight if you're busy killing off yourselves, dwarfing the authentic pieces of you just because somebody else did it first. With this tongue, I have spoken women into orgasms, kings off of thrones, and babies into heaven. I am the descendant of royalty, and my sword dictates my path. For I know that God is in the details, and so is the devil. I am my sword, and my sword is. 2. She gonna poke me on the inside this morning, and she gonna say, blood is warm, and so are promises as they leave the tongue. They once filled the air with their puffed up heart and made us believe that love was tangible, and we believed it. And with one wield of the blade, there we lay in a puddle of our own warmth, growing colder, older, wiser, dying to fill up again. Bleeding in words, left only with the afterburn of the lies that we inhaled so deeply, so willingly, until we coughed and spat all over ourselves. Now I'm careful how I treat others, because you never know who has to bring you a sweater when the winter comes, because it can be mighty frigid without a proper glove to keep you. I am so grateful that my mama is my God, the one that I believe in, even if she does not see her in herself. 3. Something about dark corners and spider webs and love, intricately interwoven into some things I can only write about but can't really explain. Black boys who wear ties and scorn the concept of being tied, tongue-tied, mind-tied, time-tied, and time-tied. You know the type. 4. Transparent flower. See-through books and bones tell stories. The words bleed as the truth is read down to the marrow, deep. This is why love is the all. Yesterday, God held my tongue and my spine because she knew that the devil also writes books. So here I lie in a silk-lined box, dyeing my pages to keep from fading, because what else am I supposed to do with all these words? After all, no one wants to die all at once. 5. There's a boulder in my chest, and it comes bearing itself unclothed. In our own fears, we are perfectly timed and naked. hanging tales of triumph over the precipice of our yesterdays, expecting it to support our tomorrows? Is that even possible? We came over the underbelly, so we should all act in accordance with that. Each of my lips tells such a story, albeit opposing stories. Each layer sits on the tip of my tongue, tasting like all the flavors of the sun. This I know for sure. When we bury our pain, we bury our joy. They cannot exist in isolation. Nothing can thrive without its stark opposition. Therefore, pain is love, wounds heal us, and even when I am unsure, I am certain. The last one is sort of just an emotional hurricane, since George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery hit us like a ton of bricks. So part of my process is just to keep working through everything that goes with that, from the past to the present to the now. Do you see us? Do you hear us? We were born through the veil of white supremacy and institutional racism, raised with the individual bigotry and mass denial in our hair. Do you see us? Do you hear us? Black as night, hot as fire. We are the revolution your forefathers feared. Are you ready? So that's all I have. Next up is a poet who I don't know very well, but I do know that every time she read and shared her works at the workshop, I expanded and grew. I love to hear her read, and it is Tressa Murphy Green.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Crystal. I have just a list of poems that I'm going to read for y'all, and I'll give y'all some of the titles later. I also just want to say before I start that PPP was such an amazing experience, and it has literally made me look deeper at myself as a poet and at the words used around me, and I'm so thankful. So let me begin. Oh, also, all of these poems were inspired by or written during my time with PPP. There has got to be a better way to feel you than through streams. Surfing through waves for a file of intimacy, a JPG of when holding wasn't heavy, a MP3 of real-time cackles, glistening gauges, grazed exchanges, holding, always a holding, embrace. Essential life practice, smiling in your presence, palms face down in yours has facilitated my universe. My favorite button to push is the bravado of your laughter. I call you holy, even when you don't know why, even when we must stay a grave death away. Sometimes these scales, baiting, scathing, underestimating the sting. Vengeance is not my first name, however my learned tongue bless it. Conjure itself a dream in my belly, evokes cleansing waters through my mouth. My name is unknown, marked with cynical vows, a evening barrel under the gravel beneath the abdominal roots of my baobab. This anatomy greets genocide with susceptible wings, a gaping annex of recluse. This name unknown, this name surmounted, this name belongs. Escort me with your rifles, like marigolds holding springtime. Show the world your forearm. Kanye at the VMAs, knighted through blood. Hold up my essence. Let its purity bellow from your mouth. Sing songs of worship dressed in myrrh and frankincense. This is your tradition. Taylor Swifting these devils. Concierging both ratchets. Her impact is both air compressed and trigger happy. History's better half. Inside me, is a fireball, cinnamon wrapped in sacral red honeysuckle, loitering under your rose bush, unnamed, shameless, pungent, veracity, titillating the hair residing under your cream-colored bridge. Anger can be cleansing, like Palo Santo igniting, pools, streams, oceans from his touch, like thunder, loud, disgruntled, bitter, like salt on fingertips, like mother, love pours from your mouth. Open me, turn me like the knob I am, hold me with your full radius. You taste like chariots, polos, ambition, schooling my entire being, recipe for devotion, a dash of reserve. You turn me into velvet, as cleansing as time, like stars, like text, like radio. We are analog. Thank you. So I would like to introduce one of the folks that we had come in as a teaching artist and also an amazing community mama, poet, artist, practitioner, healer, all of those things. I would like to introduce Mama Christina Springer.
Oh, thank you. This is beautiful. So beautiful. I have two pieces, one of which is uncharacteristically short for me. And this is beautiful. Thank you so much, Becca Zala. Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. Gwan fly away now, Black women beautiful, canaries in white America mines. Y'all diggers love our dirges until the cave-in sounds the shaft. An odorless gas slips down your throat. That lullaby we sing about you. All right. This poem is called To Yella Gal, The Blood Explains. Wave. Down Ocean Street, domino men, no bones. Beneath their feet, roots. Run up today's dirt offerings, so sunflower faces watch themselves, pace the cosmos in slow motion. Only our mirror. The lilies in my corpuscles whisper among themselves about us other flowers planted in these marrow fields. Snigger as bishop's weed tendrils burrow into queen of night tubers to drain her before she makes that hard won winter thrust towards light. My digging stick discovers crimson cuneiform punched into shards of clay to read when time folds back. My skin, a shaken bag of runes, rumble like braille. Music over brittle scrimshaw flashbacks. Listen. Thumbed kippus sinews pluck and list. The ones who walked before Rosetta Stone our bodies. These sculptures shaped when gods drank palm wine, but tormented when some conquest inebriated ghosts lust strutted like self-ordained and anointed curators. You can't help but hear them bray of how I exist for art's sake. When they chiseled us any old which way, with bast claws, Aphrodite hips, Yemaya womb, Kali arms, white buffalo woman mouth, swirled both the merry energies around in a centrifuge and called me Black American woman, otherwise translated as Empress of the known universe. What am I supposed to do with this? My mother was a scientist. She read the sacred mysteries when the intoxicated double helix danced on human stages under her microscope. When she said we were royalty, I believed her. We are none of us what they would have us believe. We have always been everywhere. She said, look. Roman numerals tattooed in blue up and down the femur of memory count each military occupation by the souls of rapacious greed. On my bones, fluid scratchings, emerald demotic markings to read when future generations peel back my skin to reveal the almond-shaped blue eyes of my children. The many-hued fruits of my body both rule and are eaten by the king and his men. But we first crowned in spirits. We first nod when Egun yammer. We overflow Orisha as two heads with syncopated feet dream that there is no obey. Yeah, the cowbell calls hooved feet to heal. We put fingernails in jars and sew hair into gree-gree bags under their eyes. The Nganga is never sentimental. See, what they fear most of all is being lost. None of them can unspeak us. We did that, remember? Back in the swamps, behind the plantations, warriors stuffed the gullets of their missus with Spanish moss like the Moorish journey from Italy to France, carved veves on the insides of our bones. Each time they spill our blood and break our bones like bread, our marrow stains curses into the soil, holding every root of their family's soul tree. We owned them, took their blood, bound it, distilled. They can't trouble us. So when her heaving gray muscles salt the earth and ask for blood, throw them the lilies in your corpuscles as a sacrifice. Then ride the high tide with sugar and rum. Laugh with the hurricane, singing, you will never be undone. Thank you so much for listening. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight. All these beautiful voices, all together, all of us. And your next poet is a wonderful person, new to Pittsburgh, and bringing so much energy and necessary joy and community. And that would be Jaquan.
Thank you, Christina, for that warm introduction. Tonight, I'm going to read 3 poems. 2 are like pretty short. One's kind of like standard. But, the first poem is, I Can Always Be Myself When You're Around. 2 fingers between his brow, my palm over his heart, a soft prayer to be a womb, to be mindful of my hands in such a delicate thing. And the refrain, I can always be myself when you're around, gathers round us like a circle of salt. Have I made something sacred of myself and my rogue flesh, my flesh, rogue as cloudless rain. That's my first poem. My second poem is, the title is What Makes a Woman and Do I Desire to Be Such a Gendered Thing? It's an exploration of like my identity as a non-binary trans person. What makes a woman? A moon, water, eyes, feathers and velvet, an interior, a sturdiness. To be the penile moon, the ovic moon, the swallowed and the swallowing. Neither nor I am a language lost to time, sunken in the ocean's bosom. I light a candle, run water in the dark, and am made a deep sea diver lurking for looted treasure beneath the shore. What makes a woman? A spell from my mother, a moon in my waist, waters spilling from my hips. Am I a woman, or am I the refuse of everything non-man? And am I a woman, or the watery refusal of a name? Where is the difference? Somewhere between the water and shore, somewhere between the water and the shore, an untenable boundary. And my final poem, it's really short. This came out of PPP, actually from the workshop we did with Joy. Bless you, Joy. And it's a bit of a call and a response. The first response would be the body. The second response is a God. So if you'd like to participate on your end, I think you'll hear the cue. Inside the body, there is a God, everlasting and beyond despair. And so with that up next, I'd like to invite Diarra up to the stage. I met Diarra through PPP. What I remember most of Diarra is their very genuine and earthy spirit and their lovely smile and the warmth that I felt connecting with them in that space. And so.
I thought you were me. Thanks everybody. My name is Diarra Imani. Thank you for that amazing, because remember, PPP has been really, really dope. It's a space for it to be an authentic, creative, poetic space of Black people. So amazing. So let's try.
Hi, Diarra. My name is Alexis. I am the person behind all of the technical things happening right now, and we're having a little issue with your sound. Is there anything over top of your laptop right now?
No, there's not.
Wow, it just sounds so much better. If you just lean in a little closer, we're
okay.
All right, I'm gonna get off the screen now.
I can do that. Okay, we're back. Thanks, Alexis. I appreciate all the people making this happen. So the piece that I will be doing is going to be called Butterfly. I found it to just be fitting for the time. This is something that was definitely informed by everything that we learned in our workshops and just being able to really exchange art. So here it goes. Butterfly. I wonder why we call butterflies butterflies. It makes me think about my nephew and the time he threw butter across the room because somebody said somebody tossed the butter. I wonder if the silk movements of the butter through the air was what happened all those years ago when somebody said butterfly. I wonder if, like my nephew, smile smooth enough to soothe the rough caterpillar heart surrounding him. I wonder if butterflies ever bite. Tired of being called beautiful, tired from all that flight. I wonder if butterflies ever go on diets, starting riots against names that don't fit. I wonder if when they hear human mouths pronounce butterfly, if they think about how silly a creature must be to just Throw two words together, like driveway being the place that you park, or parkway being the place that you drive. I wonder if when we drive on the highways, they scoff at us, knowing we will never reach the high in the ways we wish. Not enough speed, not enough wing, too human, and too much butter to fly as high as they. Butterflies, but bees sting. I mean, those were the words of the holy Ali, and it's just so fitting. Because he would jab with a smirk. He would duck and dodge with camouflage movements like armies in small villages coming to kidnap young queens. Hit a lick so quick, equipped by government, so they're felt before they are seen or heard. I heard butterflies and caterpillars have funny relationships. Like young adult girls who learn to resent their mothers. Feel foreign to what used to call home. Got a new chrysalis and forgot to phone home. Found new moons in their womb and forgot mothers is whom you came from, home. Home uses butter slick terms to peel back wings. Home can be sweet like buttercream. Buttercream stick to them ribs and coat the wounds of peeled back wings. Turn butterfly dreams to moths. In the dark, they're unseen. I wonder what the difference is between moth hearts and butterfly ambition. Hearts that wander near the warmth, keep close to the fire and the kitchen. Hear words from the sisters that catch fire like stove embers. Moths. Fly close by to any source of light. How else would we birth such ambition into our daughters without knowing what the wishes have been of our buzz-killed martyrs? Mothers live out dreams and tombstones and phone calls home. Knowing daughters that will learn to resent them will soon find someone that makes their tombstone ovaries for light again. Turn her daughter into a moth with a ring, but still no phone call home. Damn. I started this poem with a wonder and a wish. Not knowing I seen my mother as an old butterfly peeling off her wings, turning moth again. Leading us to light while we cocoon in the unknown darkness. One day I will know. And I'll have to better understand. The difference in the complexion of moths and butterflies is simple. So I'll turn to my daughters, bright with their butterfly ambition, and with dimly lit wings, tell them of why fears and superstitions drain every color in your wings. Tell them not to fly too close to flames, for I too sought out light and drank in heavy rains. I too dreamed of being a butterfly that one day when caterpillar strides were too slow, when grandmother's fears felt more like an anchor than a parachute. So when my wings fill with colors, they won't be naive of the armies that come in like bees that sting, felt before they are seen or heard. Thank you. That is my piece. That is called Butterflies. I have the honor of bringing in a sis of mine, like such a sis. I'm so honored to have shared space. Maria is coming right in, like here.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Diarra. My heart is like pulsating. Yes. That was special. That was so special. Peace, everybody, everyone. Oh my goodness, I love you all so much. Family, viewers, I need you to know how amazing this time we've spent together has been. Oh my goodness, it has been so fulfilling, so nourishing, and I'm so happy to be here with my cohorts here tonight to share space and share a poem. And this poem is called Holding Space, Metaphysical Amplifications Answered. Yes. My name harmonizes with Gabriel's trumpet. He called my name, Maria, with a deep breath. Breathing deep as a hallelujah hymnal. I had to praise source in the highest. I had beckoned for his presence, called him to me, literally held my head down in prayer and said, Gabriel, where are you? And as his bass guitar tone relished in the opening of our song and dance, strumming my name, vibrating my brain to consciousness, jolting my head up and my eyes forward, opening the gates, allowing the water to flow. There he was, in blue jeans and a white button-up, standing tall before me, just like they say angels are. I had taken the back window seat of the Mexican restaurant there on the corner of Broad and Cecil B. Moore near Temple University. He found me,
his umbrella resembling a scepter by his side, the ceiling light above his head shining down on his even brighter smile, his hand reaching out for mine like a branch from paradise. I gasped, "Gabriel, I just called you." Stammering. I fell into the bosom of Source and I asked for your assistance. And in an instant, you appear. Tears in my eyes with joyous praise. And with that reassuring smile I can always count on, he shakes his head in affirmation. "I know," he says. "Do you see what has come about with our children?" I ask, already knowing the answer. Taking a moment to firm up my faith in our mission. Same smile, he nods, taking my hand in his own, gentle, as if cuffing a lily. He asks, "What shall we do?" And although I knew we had a scroll of archive tactics for occupying a holy space in the middle of a war zone, this had to be led by spirit like every overcoming. Let us occupy the corner as guardians with ethereal authority and attend to these hundreds of our children. It was a Philadelphia youth flash mob, full of free-feeling Black children, both full of joy and pain, sunshine and rain, pouring out of the subway exits on each of the four corners of a street named after a civil rights activist who fought for integration in education. Much more than a coincidence. Ancestors calling, "Blow your trumpet, Gabriel. Hit the high vibration. Call protection for my children." I call protection for my children. Let us likewise make it known. We come as more than friends, holding the lantern of love as our offering. We present our highest cell vessels in service to the love and protection of our children, in peace and with the authority of the Most High. Yes, that's a first piece I am so happy to have shared with you all. It was came forth at a special time in Philadelphia when Spirit called me to show up, and one of my brother comrades was there to assist. Hallelujah. Okay, I am going to share this other one here with you. Yes. This one is special, and it's a reminder for me to myself of how to remember and be reminded of my tenderness, my special, precious love, my goodness. That is continually present in prayer without the ceasing. Yes, I have nothing to give. I have nothing left to give aside from the all that is ripening at this temple. My offering is this body, mind, and soul. On the altar of earth, I am your queen mother come alive in flesh. Do you see me? Am I real to you? Am I real to you like I'm real to me? Is she real to him like the sun is real to us nine? Be tender, dear. You know exactly what to do. Trust your instincts. Prepare yourself as a holy sacrifice before creation. Be creative. Heal yourself and your others. Ogechi beauty. Ogechi baby. Be ye rested in the peace of your breath. Deep in your consciousness, connect yourself to your mission. Listen to your body. Give light to love, then amplify it. Resurrect your joy. Hold fast to your passion. Make sacred your desires. Consecrate yourself in nature. Be well. Be well, family.
Hi, I'm Lauren Russell.
Hi, I'm Becca Zayla.
Thanks to all the poets who read tonight and to everyone who tuned in to hear them. Early in the Poetry Partnership of Pittsburgh workshop series, when the wonderful Christina Springer was our guest facilitator, she had us all go around the table and say what each of us hoped to get out of the workshop. I was flummoxed because I hadn't thought about it. My life is to some extent an endless to-do list, and I do what needs to be done. But that was the joke on me, because over the last several months that I got to spend in community with all of these poets and other poets who weren't able to share here today, I learned so much. As a poet, as a teacher and workshop facilitator, as an organizer, and as a human being. And so to all of the Poetry Partnership of Pittsburgh poets, thank you for your urgent and exacting and innovative poems, for our conversations that were simultaneously so exhilarating and so demanding, and for holding this space. And I'll miss you all. And I want to thank most of all Bekezela Mguni of Black Unicorn Library and Archives Project, because this was her idea to begin with over a year ago on the patio at Zeke's Coffee Shop. Thank you. I'm turning it over to Bekezela now.
Thank you, Lauren. I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us, and thank you to all of the poets who shared so beautifully tonight and who joined us in the workshop. You all have literally changed my life, and I feel so, so blessed. And I hope that everyone who's listened tonight feels as blessed as I do. We could not have done this without Tressa, without Justin, without you, Lauren, and without everyone in this room. Pittsburgh is blessed to have the people who read tonight. I feel triumphant. I feel triumphant in this moment, and I hope each of you do. And y'all know how emotional I get when I think about you. Tears come to my eyes each week that we met when this pandemic started. It was so powerful to see each of you and so life-affirming. And it is such a blessing to have each of your voices in this world. And so I'm so grateful that we were able to make it to this moment and to really share your light, share and really celebrate each of you so, so much. And I'm just so grateful. And so thank you all so much for being here, for supporting these amazing Black poets. Black poetry will live forever and ever. And I'm so grateful you got to hear each and every one of these poets' voices. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you to the team for organizing. You all are you're the best. You're the best. Thank you. And thanks for City of Asylum for having us, giving us this opportunity to have our closing. This was really special. So thank you all so much.